Welcome to Resumes Formatting Part 2. Welcome back if you just came from the Getting Started, and if you're showing up here without the Getting Started, I recommend that you go back and watch the Getting Started video. In this one, we're going to be covering section titles and text placement, where you're going to put your text, as well as indenting versus using the tab key. Normally, the first section that you're going to have is going to be an objective. In the How to Write a Resume booklet, which we're using as the guide for this, there is a little bit more detail about why you would or would not include an objective. So I'm going to hit the Enter key, and then I'm going to put my objective in for this student. A part-time retail sales position. And I'm going to show you, at this point I'm going to take off this, I'm going to go back to the home, click off the formatting paragraph marks. There are a couple ways of formatting the text under the section title. So objective is called a section title, and then this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the text. And one way to handle that would simply be to put that maybe next to the objective, and then we have the next section, which will be education, and then we start that information like this. We're not going to use this format because it's harder to edit. There's nothing wrong with this format, but it'll be easier if we keep this information indented. It's not indented yet, but this information indented underneath the section title. So I'm going to go up and show you these indent buttons. Let me go back up and turn the marks back on. You can see here there are little arrows. Those are where I've hit the tab key, and I'm not sure if the tab will show up if I use tab here, and it does not. The disadvantage of using tab is instead of the indent bar when you are in the main part of the resume is that it can mess up your formatting. You have to use tab when you're on the same line, but when you're in the line lower, you do not need to use the tab button. So instead I'm going to use the indent. So I'm just going to indent one, and then we're going to be doing the same thing below under here. So I'll indent that one as well. I'm going to turn this off again. And the advantage of using the indent button is that when I go to the second line, and hit the enter key, it will automatically be in that same left hand section instead of going all the way back to the other side of the page. So then I'm all set to put in my degree, which almost everybody at Capital is getting a Bachelor of Arts degree. There are some exceptions: Bachelor of Science and Nursing, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Social Work. And we're going to put our the month and year that we will get the Bachelor of Arts degree. If I put in the rest of my information there, I'm going to suggest we do a couple of other things with formatting just with this, and then in the next segment we'll talk about the experience section and using the format painter tool. For this, a couple things. You might consider making your email address in italics. I think it's a good idea to make your section titles in bold and all caps because it differentiates it from everything else, all the other text in the document. If we, for instance, capital is all caps, but it's not bold, we'll also make the organization names, companies, employers in that same sort of format. And you can bold something else that you find important. Maybe you want to make your major bold or the Bachelor of Arts bold, but you can do that selectively as well. In the third segment, we'll be then talking about hopefully the remainder of the formatting issues, inserting bullet points, and using the ruler bar to align text and fixing formatting. And we'll also show you how to use the Format Painter tool.